Today on our 2017 Chevrolet Malibu, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Rhino Rack Roof Rack system. Our roof rack system is going to consist of the Rhino Rack Vortex Aero bars, and that's going to be part number RRRVA126B-2. And our bars are also available in silver using part number RRVA126S-2. Now it's also going to include our foot packs, and that's going to be part number RRRLKVA. And also our fit kit, which is going to be specifically made for our vehicle, and that's going to be part number DK462. Our roof rack is going to be great for freeing up space inside of our car for passengers and pets, and then allowing us to mount it on top of the car on our roof. Now the aerodynamic design of our bars here is going to cut down on a lot of the noise associated with roof racks, and it's going to give you a much quieter ride. Now the weather stripping right here not only is going to add a nice grip for whatever we mount on top, but we can actually remove it and cut it to length, and we can put in any T-track accessories that we'd like. Now our bars themselves are going to be 49 inches long, and they're going to support 165 pounds. Now, I just want to mention, you always want to double check your vehicle's owner's manual to make sure that the roof can handle that amount of weight. Now, I know a lot of you will have questions about your sunroof. Obviously, our application doesn't have one, but per the instructions, it does say that you can operate your sunroof with the crossbars installed. You just need to make sure that you're exercising caution when you're doing so. And I'll also give you a rough measurement here. You're going to have roughly about 3 1/4 inches of room in between the roof itself and our bottom of our crossbar. Now one of the nice features is the end cap on our foot pack here does have a metal lock core, so we don't have to worry about anybody trying to remove our roof rack system. However, on our crossbars themselves, the lock core is plastic, which you can upgrade to a metal lock core using part number RRVA-LEC4. And that way any accessories you have mounted in your T-track will be secure because the cap will be locked on. Now that we've gone over some features and benefits of our roof rack system, let's show you how we get them installed. I went ahead and already installed one of our bars on our Malibu. Now let's go ahead and show you how we're going to put everything together, and we'll put the second one on together. First thing we're going to need to do is, if we take our Rhino Rack key, if we come to the end caps here, we're going to insert it and rotate it counterclockwise so we can pull the end caps out. And we're going to do that for the other side as well. So we can go ahead and take our crossbar and we're going to flip it over. You're going to notice that we're going to have 2 channels, one on each side of our bar. And that's where we're going to take our foot packs here. You'll notice it has a small square notch on the top, and that's actually going to slide into that channel. But when you do it, you want to make sure that the angle is going towards the outside. So we can slide our foot pack in the channel. We're going to need to take a few measurements to figure out exactly where our foot pack is going to need to go. Now we're going to find the measurements in our instructions, but the rear crossbar length here is going to need to be 201 millimeters. Line up our foot pack, and then we can take our included torque tool, and we're going to be tightening this bolt right here. Now we're not going to need to go crazy tightening this down, and when it does get tight enough, this curve in the handle here will straighten out, and that's when we know we got it to the right torqued value. Now that we have this one installed, we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. Now if we grab the rubber pad, there are going to be a couple different ones. There's going to be a number or a letter and a series of numbers right here, and also an arrow. Now in the instructions, it's going to tell you which one is going to go where, and you're going to want to make sure that the arrow is pointing away from the center. Now we're just going to take our rubber pad here, and we're going to place it on to the bottom of our foot pack. If you're having a little bit of trouble getting it on, if you actually take this piece of the foot pack and rotate it, it'll come off, and then we can just press it in, making sure it locks into place. And again, making sure that arrow is facing out, we can go ahead and press it back on, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now on the inside of our foot pack, we're going to have a bolt right here. We'll go ahead and take that bolt out, and then we can take our bracket here, and we're going to want to make sure that the rubber piece is facing towards the inside. And we're going to lay it over our foot pack like this, and then we're going to reinsert the bolt loosely. Now you don't want to tighten these up too much because you want to have as much room and slack to make any kind of adjustments that you may need. Now that we have this one on, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. With our crossbar assembled, we can go ahead and replace our end caps here and lock them down. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the rear doors on our vehicle, and we can loosely place our crossbar. Now again, we're going to need to find another measurement. This time, it is going to be in our instructions. However, we're going to be measuring from the center point of our front crossbar to the center point of our rear crossbar. And once we have one side measured, I'm going to go ahead and move to the other side and make sure it's square over there as well. Now that we have our crossbar in place, we're going to take our torque tool again, and this time we're going to be tightening that bolt that we attached our foot back to. Now what I like to do to make sure it doesn't get in a bind and it tightens up evenly is I'm going to tighten one side until that clamp makes contact. Then I'm going to move to the other side and start tightening that one down. When we go to torque down our crossbar, the final torquing is going to be again with our torque tool here, and once that curve goes straight, we're going to know that we have it tight enough. So we can go over to the other side and check that as well. Finally, we can put our cap on our foot pack and lock it in place. And that'll finish up our look at the Rhino Rack Roof Rack system on our 2017 Chevrolet Malibu.